Hey super friends, it's Neil. I'm just sitting down for a cup of tea and I thought I would talk to you about a book that I have been reading recently that I am allowed to talk to you about. You can just see it sneaky there on the table. And that is Matt Fraction's brand new run on Batman, which is beginning in September 2025. DC has very kindly let me read the first 2 issues of this book. So it's written by Matt Fraction, it's got art by Jorge Jimenez, colours by Tomu More and letters by Clayton Cowles. It's taking over the Batman main title after a break happens in the Hush 2 storyline, which is by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee, that's happening kind of at the moment. I can't tell you anything about the story in this book so far, but I can tell you about the artwork and I can tell you whether I'm excited to read any more or not. And the answer to that question is yes. If you saw my tweet last night, I kind of said a little bit about how exciting it's been reading these first 2 issues. Look, I know that people are always a bit dubious when a book goes back to numbering at number 1. Sorry, early morning tea. But actually this feels really right for this book. Is it really, although it picks up on the kind of status quo where Chip Zdarsky left it when his run ended a few months ago, it's very much a creative reset for Batman. Jorge is doing something incredible, reinventing himself yet again, and creating a style that feels like it's built on everything that he's done in Batman before. Because bear in mind, he's worked with James Tynion, he's worked with Tom King, he's worked with Chip. So this is his 4th Batman writer on the main title. But if you saw the work that he did in the Summer of Superman special earlier in summer, then you would know that that felt like a completely new, brighter way of doing his style of artwork, and it's stepped up yet again in this new version of Batman, which is really exciting because the city looks different, it's vibrant, it's futuristic without being sort of set in the future and being like a Batman Beyond version of Gotham. It's not like that, it just feels like a metropolis, not as in the place, but as in a big cityscape. It's so well lived in. We're seeing a lot more fine detail as well, in that we're getting little snippets of what's happening with Batman's suit. We're seeing little pockets of what's happening in the media in Gotham, talking about things that are happening in the book, of which I'm not going to mention them because I'm not allowed. So it feels very, very different, and that feels right for a number 1 because it really does reset the playing field, albeit with characters where they were left off in the previous run. So that's really, really cool. And what Fraction is doing with the story, and I'm not going to say any plot points, is also very interesting. Both issue 1 and issue 2 have very standalone stories, but with an overarching kind of thread that feeds through the 2 of them, so there is something happening, but at the same time these are very standalone issues, and it feels very much like this is going to be a more action-adventure Batman, where what Tom Taylor is doing in Detective is more of the darker noir type story. So that's really interesting and very, very exciting to have 2 very different types of Bat books on the market at the same time. Particularly when we've had Dark Patterns by Dan Waters unraveling at the same time as well, which has been very, very dark and very, very different and very cool to read. If you look at all 3 of those, they're all, at this point they're all very different types of books, which is really, really cool. I think that's probably about all I can say for now. So the first issue of Batman says the brand new Batman number 1 is going to be in comic book stores on September the 3rd, also on digital platforms. When that drops, I can say a lot more, so let's just hold off for a few more weeks and then we'll dive in a bit more, okay? So thanks for listening. Cheers.